falar da crise entre Estados Unidos e Cuba, que continua a escalar. O presidente americano Donald Trump voltou a sugerir uma ação militar para forçar o governo cubano a se render. Autoridades cubanas prometem resistir a qualquer agressão. O correspondente da CNN em Havana, Patrick Oppman, tem as últimas atualizações.
Rhetoric between the U.S. and Cuban governments grows more heated by the day, almost to the point where it would seem that these two countries are on a wartime footing. Donald Trump is claiming that he is ready to take Cuba immediately, that he could send military assets, a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier here, and that would cause the Cuban government essentially raise the white flag and give up. That is something that Cuban officials are angrily rejecting. We've seen Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel saying he's willing to give his life, that Cubans would fight back against any kind of military aggression by the United States against this island. He's also blasting the Trump administration for placing more economic sanctions on the island's government. You're already dealing with a pressure campaign that's been really unprecedented in recent years between Cuba and U.S. governments, where almost all oil shipments have ceased in this island. Is strangled an already failing economy. You see less cars on the road, blackouts that last longer and longer. And while the Cuban and U.S. governments are supposedly negotiating, and there's little progress to show for those negotiations, and you see Cuban officials saying more and more regularly that they are preparing for a U.S. invasion, that they are willing to lay down their lives, and that under no circumstances will the U.S. be able to take Cuba? Of course, for Cubans caught in the middle of this war of words, the concern is that it could turn into an actual war. Patrick Ottman, CNN Havana.